Marsha called me on the phone and said, guess who won the Powerball? And I said, who? And she said, we did. And I said, well, stop April fooling me and get off of my phone.
In today's video, we'll go over lottery winners who use the law of attraction to manifest abundance and wealth into their lives. Many people are drawn to the law of attraction because they want to be wealthy. However, if you're like most people, your hopes may be offset by uncertainty over whether you'll be able to achieve anything major through manifestation. The famous actor Jim Carrey admitted that his acting career skyrocketed only because of the law of attraction techniques he practiced every day. He used to write himself a check for $10 million with a note for acting services. He took this check everywhere with him, keeping it in his wallet. The thing is, he did it while he was absolutely broke. However, after long years of hard work, he received the same check for his acting, becoming one of the most successful and high-paid actors. And just like this one, these are the stories of lottery winners who attracted wealth using the law of attraction. Number 1 changed lottery history forever. Let's go. Number 9. Pearlie Mae Smith, $429 million.
Now she has her own funding where she can help these young ladies at risk. She can go and change lives on her own accord.
Pearlie Mae, who was 76 at the time of this video, credits divine intervention with providing her with the winning numbers in a dream. She wrote down the numbers on a sheet of paper so she wouldn't forget them. A few days later, family members were startled to find that they were the single winners of one of the largest lottery jackpots of all time. She and her 7 children won a whopping $429.6 million after playing Powerball. Instead of keeping all their newfound wealth to themselves, Pearlie Mae Smith and her family opted to invest 10% of their lottery winnings in a mansion to help others.
Been involved in work to help the community,
particularly those connected with their religion. Since then, they have been giving back to their community. Their success is viewed as a means to spread happiness, faith, and well-being. One part of the story worth considering is the underlying narrative of a secondary purpose. When aiming for abundance, think about why you're doing it. Make sure the conclusion is satisfying. In this case, Pearlie's family, the Trenton family, all wanted to make a difference in their communities in different ways. For example, if you only want to belittle your neighbors or make your ex regret breaking up with you, you're starting your path towards abundance from a place of lack and bitterness. What good will your wealth bring you, both personally and for others? When you can answer this question positively, it will permeate every aspect of your law of attraction process, just like it did for Pearlie Mae. Number 8. Timothy Schultz, $28 million. Timothy Schultz of Des Moines, Iowa, won a $28 million cash prize in February of 1999 at the young age of 21. Tim was a college student who worked at a convenience shop to pay his bills while attending classes. He claimed that a dream in which he won the lottery led him to purchase a Powerball lottery ticket. After buying the ticket, he felt something special. He had the feeling that he was going to win. He told people close to him that he would be the next winner, but his friends didn't pay much attention. However, things were about to get a little crazy. When Tim bought the ticket from the store he was working at, one of his coworkers, Sarah Elder, 20 years old at the time, expressed an interest in purchasing half of his ticket, but that never happened. Sarah demanded a part of the profits once Tim found he'd matched the winning Powerball numbers. They proceeded to court over the issue, which nearly jeopardized the entire prize collection process. Lottery rules vary by state in the United States, including lottery winner anonymity regulations and age requirements for playing the game. It turned out that in the state of Iowa, you needed to be at least 21 years old to play lotteries. Thus, Sarah was unable to participate. They eventually settled their issues out of court, with Sarah waiving her claims to the jackpot reward. Tim's life was drastically changed after he received his Powerball jackpot.
In 1999, I won the Powerball. Initially won $28 million.
Since he was usually struggling to make ends meet each month. But since his win, he hasn't had any financial troubles. He now has a YouTube channel where he interviews lottery winners. If you think these stories are powerful, keep watching, because they are about to get even more impressive. Number 7. Lana McKenzie, $2.2 million.
You get really caught up in it when you first win, and it's just so many new things and so many different opinions, or what are you going to do, or just, it's so overwhelming at the beginning.
Lana was the winner of a $2.2 million prize in the Canadian BC Children's Hospital Lottery.
Yeah, so it was the BC UC Children's Hospital Foundation lottery. So
She only had $33 in her bank account as she purchased the winning ticket. Mackenzie had an incredible drive to win, as other winners on this list. She played in a charity to help her sick son receive medical treatment for his failing kidney. Mackenzie claims she listened to the words from her grandmother, who told her you can make it happen when you visualize something positive. At work, she told a coworker that there was an algorithm in life. The more you think about something, the more likely you are to make it happen. So she used the strategy by using the word lottery often throughout the day and telling people she would win. To her surprise, a few days later, she was a multi-millionaire. The next story is unbelievable. Keep watching. Number 6. Neil Wanless, $232 million.
As you're aware, another play on your ticket was worth a $100 prize. Here's your $100.
Neil Wanless, who was only 23 years old at the time, chose a set of Powerball numbers that eventually made him $232 million. A few components of his story are particularly important to manifest the tremendous abundance at work when lottery jackpot outcomes are displayed. First and foremost, he chose his numbers in the town of Winter, South Dakota. This emphasizes how critical it can be to act in areas you already associate with abundance. Such factors increase your chances of aligning yourself with your intended goal. Second, it's worth noting that he chose a variety of birth dates associated with persons who meant a lot to him. Again, an implicit positive link exists between Neil and the numbers. This is the type of organization that maximizes the chances of success. When he eventually received his money, he was able to pay off a variety of bills and financial concerns for himself and his extended family. However, Neil elected to go about his normal life while absorbing his life-changing win. This is very much in line with the law of attraction teachings. Make peace with your existence and focus on the positive rather than the negative. Just like Neil, you have the power to manifest abundance. If you want to attract abundance, make sure to leave a like on this video right now. Let's move on. Number 5. Cynthia P. Stafford, $112 million. Cynthia Stafford's cautionary lottery story is one of the most well-known. In 2008, she won a whopping $112 million in the California Mega Millions lottery. She is sometimes described as the paradigm example of a lottery winner. Cynthia, like Neil, chose the first two numbers as her date of birth, which is 11. I typed 112 million on a piece of paper, and I started meditating until I felt it was true, she says. I even slept with the piece of paper under my pillow to make it even more a part of my reality. This is a typical example of channeling your energy to manifest whatever you desire. As Cynthia sent her intense positive energy through meditation, her dream of winning the lottery became true, earning the exact amount she was visualizing, 112 million.
I just kind of stood and cried for a moment, like, okay, this is awesome.
Cynthia Stafford's life transformed overnight in terms of net worth. She utilized her winnings to fund her long-term ambition of establishing her own film production company. She did, however, go bankrupt in the end. Cynthia discovered she couldn't embrace her sudden money after winning the lotto. As a result, she lost her fortune. What can we take away from this incredible experience with attracting abundance? Cynthia discovered she wasn't mentally prepared for the rush of money after winning the lotto. The key takeaway here is that you must spend time establishing a picture of yourself as a wealthy, well-adjusted individual. Even a great win might lead to a downfall if you don't explore the parts of yourself that feel adversely about money or don't believe it is your right to be abundant. In your law of attraction activity, be honest with yourself. Self-awareness is a crucial ingredient for success. Keep watching. Number 4. Melania Harris, $745,000. Harris gives credit to the practical exercises and approaches of the law of attraction for helping her in achieving her goal. She won $745,000 in the Georgia lottery in her early 30s by accurately choosing all 5 numbers. When asked about the experience, she stated that she expected a victory for years. Furthermore, she consistently visualized a win, just how law of attraction experts recommend. She, like Pearlie Mae, intended to dedicate a large percentage of her newfound wealth to benefit people in her community. She is likewise working to pay off her own outstanding obligations. When you're feeling impatient or wondering if your manifestation work will ever pay off, remember Melania Harris. She employed creative visualization for years, trusting that it will finally succeed. and you can do the same. Numerous times, you'll only attain your goal when the moment is ideal for you. Many circumstances impact whether that time is now. Trust the abundance will come to you just when you need it. Furthermore, don't give up hope or energy on your manifestation journey, even though it's easier said than done. What do you think? Do you think you'll be able to manifest the lottery jackpot? Let us know in the comments below. Moving on. Number 3. The Englishman, 4.8 million. After winning 4.8 million, it seems logical why this man wanted to keep his name unknown. Although the anonymous winner from Newcastle didn't reveal his persona, he shared the secret behind winning the jackpot. Like other winners on the list, the man claims he used the law of attraction to attract his new fortune. The key? A combining of patience and visualization. He visualized winning the #1 prize for years, until eventually, around 10 years after playing the lottery, he won. But that is not the best part of the story. The man dealt with his winnings smartly and was very different than any other winners we have featured before. This is a way that some of our subscribers and viewers constantly say would be the smartest way to use the money. What did he do? He put it in the bank, into a high-yielding account, and some investments. He says that for the next 20 years, he will be receiving $20,000 every month. Opposed to other winners who immediately spent all their money, he is patient and considers helping his family the most. Let's continue. Number 2. Elwood Bunky Bartlett, 82.5 million. This self-proclaimed wizard from Maryland used his unwavering belief to win the lottery in 2007. He envisioned what his life would be like after he won. He imagined the house he would be in. He visualized his day-to-day life and the things he would spend the money on. To his fortune, Bunky was one of the 4 Mega Million winners who split a $330 million jackpot in 2007. After deciding to get the lump sum and paying taxes, Bunky walked away with $32.6 million. In this case, Bartlett allowed the universe to be flexible in whatever form he would receive money, and it happened to be from the lottery. We have finally reached number 1, and this is a big one. Hang tight because it will blow your mind. Number 1. Shane Missler, 451 million. When Shane won the lottery at the young age of 20, he changed the lottery world forever, becoming one of the biggest and youngest Mega Millions winners ever. He had a long history of deliberately and meticulously saving for things he desired, such as a Subaru car. Also, he is quoted as saying that a positive mindset was crucial in getting him to where he is today. Shane managed to attract and manifest this huge $451 million jackpot by constantly thinking positively and feeling that he was worthy of abundance. While many people his age may be inclined to overspend, Shane Missler is optimistic about his future. He deposited his winnings into a trust fund while also using some of his money to help out his family. Along with the obvious message that a good mindset always wins, notice that Shane Missler, like Pearlie Mae Smith, has thought beyond the initial goal of achieving wealth and has larger goals in mind. When you envision attracting money, take time visualizing all the different ways it will improve your life for the better and all the new doors it will open for you. When an optimistic attitude like Shane Missler's is combined with a mature, precise vision of the future, you align yourself with the vibration of ultimate achievement.
Just knowing my life literally changed overnight. It's just amazing.
Melania Harris. Melania Harris was a 32-year-old mom of 3 in 2014. She was living with her family in Georgia at the time and was working as a data specialist for the Red Cross. She was pretty happy, but anyone with 3 kids could use a little more money. So, she spent years practicing visualization and the laws of attraction as taught by experts. She was sure that it would eventually lead to a lottery win. She was right. It was a quick pick ticket that finally landed her a big win in the Georgia State Lottery. And it was a life-changing win of over $745,000. She found out the day after the draw as she was about to go into Target. She just got out of her car when she said something told her to stop and check the numbers. She went to the Georgia Lottery website and saw all the numbers on her ticket. She never made it into the store. She just cried happy tears in the parking lot before getting back in her car to tell her family the good news. She said she wanted to use her money to pay off her debt and then set up college funds for all her kids. She was also going to help out her other family members with her new wealth. Nobody's heard about her since, so you can bet she's still happy because she definitely hasn't filed for bankruptcy. Her story is the perfect example of the laws of attraction paying off. But other people have won even bigger jackpots using this method. Anonymous English winner. In 2021, someone in Newcastle in England won the UK National Lottery jackpot. They took home an incredible $4.8 million. The man chose to keep his identity a secret, which we know from experts is the smart thing to do. But he didn't want to keep his whole story a secret. He thinks that the way he won the jackpot is pretty important, and he wants the world to know about it. He says he spent the last 10 years using the laws of attraction to visualize winning the jackpot. He even wrote down a list of all the ways he'd spend his big win. He also said that when he bought his winning ticket, that was the first time he'd really experienced the feeling that he was holding the jackpot winner in his hands. He was right. Unusually, he chose the annuity option, and he'll be getting $20,000 in his account every month for the next 20 years. Now that's what long-term financial security looks like. He wants to use his money to help his family to live what he calls a life of luxury. He's also pretty generous and wants to donate to loads of charities. Have you ever used the laws of attraction to get something you wanted? Did it work? Tell us in the comments. Timothy Schultz. Timothy Schultz was working at a gas station back in 1999 when something unexpected changed his life. He had a dream. That doesn't sound so special. We all have dreams, but in this one, Timothy saw himself winning the lottery. So he went out and bought a Powerball ticket. He says as he bought the ticket, a special feeling washed over him. He was certain he was going to win. For the next few days, he told his friends that he was going to win the lottery. But as you'd expect, they weren't interested. You'd have to be crazy to believe something like that. But on this occasion, Timothy was right. At the young age of 21, Timothy was holding a winning ticket worth $29 million. And remember, this was back in 1999, so that was worth even more than today. The universe was on his side even more than he realized. He bought the winning ticket at a gas station where he worked, and one of his colleagues had seen him making the purchase. She said they should split the ticket, but she must have forgotten because Timothy never got her half of the ticket price. But as you'd expect, when the girl found out he'd won, she was really determined to get her hands on half the winnings she thought was hers. Timothy disagreed that she deserved any of the money, and the argument went to court. There, they discovered something that guaranteed Timothy would take home all the cash. The ticket had been purchased in the state of Iowa. By law, you have to be at least 21 years old to play the lottery there. While Timothy had just qualified, the girl was only 20. She was forced to give up the whole thing. The first thing Timothy did with his money was to go back to college to study broadcasting. And he still does that today. He now runs a YouTube channel and podcast where he interviews other lottery winners.
Meet Cynthia Stafford. In 2007, she was a single mom raising her deceased brother's kids when she won the California Mega Millions lottery.
You thought you'd win.
Well, I knew I would win.
Cynthia P. Stafford. Cynthia P. Stafford is one of the most famous lottery winners of all time for more than one reason. Cynthia had been working as an accountant at a computer technology firm for many years. The job offered decent pay, but Cynthia was still struggling to keep up with the bills. That was all because of one hugely charitable gesture. She tragically lost her brother in a car accident several years earlier. The worst bit was he left his children behind. He'd been a single dad, and when he died, Cynthia wasn't about to let those kids get into an orphanage. She took them in and raised them as her own. But that did mean she was now a single mother to 4 children, which is not an easy thing to do. She had one solution to her money problems. She was going to win the lottery. She bought a California Mega Millions ticket once or twice a month when she had some spare cash. Every time, she'd visualize winning. She was certain that using the laws of attraction would work in the end. And sure enough, in May 2007, she was proven right. She'd won a life-changing $112 million jackpot. She said that when she finally won, she was so sure it would happen that she wasn't even surprised. She chose the lump sum because it felt more exciting to her, and after taxes, she was $45 million richer. Unfortunately, it didn't all go to plan. She'd successfully visualized the win, but she hadn't paid as much attention to what she'd do with the money. Her first act was to split the win equally into 3 parts, one for her brother, and one for her dad. We don't know how much cash she lost on gift taxes, but you can bet it was a lot. They can take up to 45% in some cases. The next thing she did was buy a house. It was big, but it wasn't a mansion. She just wanted to make the kids happy. After that, she began focusing on the career she'd always dreamed of. So, she opened a film production company called Queen Nefertiti Productions. It was all going well for her for a while, but in 2016, she was eventually forced to file for bankruptcy. Apparently, the bankruptcy was a result of her giving too much money away to family, friends, and charity. We can only hope she's still happy. This should serve as a cautionary tale to you. If you're going to use the laws of attraction to win the lottery, don't forget to visualize the wealth working for you for the rest of your life.
I do have something to get you started. As you're aware, another play on your ticket was worth a $100 prize.
Neil Wanless. Neil Wanless and his family had been going through a tough few years. He was a passionate rancher, but that job wasn't bringing in enough cash to help out his family. His parents' house was repossessed by the bank, and Neil, his parents, and his brother were forced to move into a camper van. Neil's dad started selling scrap metal to try to earn some cash for his family. Neil was still struggling to pay his bills, but one day, he had to go into town to run errands. While he was there, he stopped at the local gas station and spent $15 on 5 Powerball tickets. This was a lot of cash to Neil at the time, but he was sick of being poor, and he figured this was his chance to fix his family's life and follow his dreams. Maybe driving around a town called Winter had something to do with his decision too. And yes, that was the real name of the town. The night before the Powerball draw, Neil joked with his parents that he'd need to drive into town the next day to collect his winning check. But he was right. All his numbers matched. At the age of only 23, Neil had hit the jackpot worth $232.2 million. He chose the lump sum worth $88.5 million after taxes. After living in poverty, he was now a multi-millionaire. He immediately paid off his family's debt and got to work finding everyone a real home to live in. He could have retired straight away and lived a perfect life forever with that kind of money. But that wasn't part of his plan. What he really wanted was to invest his new wealth back into his dream job. He just wanted to be a rancher, and he was now able to buy a giant 23 square mile ranch for $9.9 million to achieve that goal. He built his dream home on the property and another home for his parents. After many happy years, he recently decided to sell the ranch because his relationship with his new wife means he'll almost never be there. But it turned out to be a great investment. It's now worth over $40 million, making it one of the most expensive ranches ever sold in South Dakota.
Well, as you've probably heard by now, a Nottingham man is the nation's newest multi-millionaire.
He is officially deemed a mega millionaire.
Bunky Bartlett.
Elwood Bunky Bartlett. There are many ways to practice visualization and the laws of attraction. Elwood Bartlett, better known as Bunky, took it to the extreme. He was in his 40s and working as an accountant at the time of his big win. But behind the scenes, he was doing something very different. He was a practicing wizard. He even taught Wicca practices to other people in a very popular bookshop. Bunky says that a few weeks before his win, he did a tarot card reading for himself. One of the cards he drew told him that he needed to take the time to focus on his faith. So he decided to make a deal with the gods. He prayed and told them that he'd do what they said if they provided the money he needed to quit his job. He didn't care about how he got the money, but he figured a lottery win would be the easiest way to fulfill this deal. So, while driving to his class at the bookstore, he stopped to buy $10 worth of Mega Millions Quick Pick tickets. Amazingly, one of the 2 tickets was a winner. He was one of 4 people who split a giant $330 million jackpot. Bunky chose the lump sum, and after taxes, he was $32.6 million richer. He kept up his end of the deal and immediately quit his job as an accountant to teach Wicca full-time. He was also more than happy to give away large amounts of cash to basically anyone who asked. Rumor has it, he's one of the nicest men on earth. But we all know that making a deal like that is never a good idea. After all, even he didn't know exactly which god he was bargaining with. Accepting money from him became a kiss of death, as every business he helped fund went bankrupt almost straight away. He was trying to help his friends, but when their businesses failed, they blamed him. He bought the bookshop where he taught, and even though it was very popular before he owned it, it went bankrupt almost immediately after he reopened it. His real estate investments were disasters, and his new record label went under after only releasing 2 albums. He also spent years trying to develop the world's greatest online multiplayer game. But all he got out of it was criticism and bad press from people who don't even know him. His only success was a pizza franchise. But even though that brings him money, it's still another way for strangers to show their hatred for him. Its Google page is covered in reviews from people who clearly just want to hurt Punky on a personal level for no reason at all. As weird as it is, the money seemed to turn the whole world against him. Even though everyone who knows him admits he's a lovely person, he's still got about $15 million in his bank account, but you can bet he wishes he'd never won that money. I guess if you want to use the laws of attraction to win the lottery, you better do it on your own instead of stepping into the world of magic. Can you hit subscribe before another lottery winner realizes they were better off poor? You have 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Pearlie Mae Smith. Pearlie Mae Smith had always given what she had to others, but she didn't have much. She was a mom to 7 children, and she never had much money. Even though she raised her children in an area surrounded by poverty, drugs, and violence, she taught them the importance of hard work and generosity. Her kids still speak about how Pearlie would take them along to volunteer in soup kitchens, or the time she grew a whole garden to help feed people who couldn't afford to buy food for themselves. Pearlie Mae's kids were already grown up in 2016 when her wish finally came true. She'd always wished she'd win the lottery so she could give more to worthy causes. Then one day, she says, lottery numbers came to her in a dream. She was sure they were the numbers that would win millions for her. So she played them. And sure enough, those numbers made her the only winner of an unbelievable $429 million Powerball jackpot. Even after choosing the lump sum option, the amount she took home was a staggering $249 million. But what do you do with all that cash? Pearlie Mae already knew how she wanted to spend it. She split the jackpot 8 ways, so every one of her kids got the same amount as her. Then they all started giving their wealth to people who needed it more. They all kept a little for themselves to make sure their families were looked after, but they were more than happy to give large sums of cash to charities they believed in, starting with each member of the family pledging 10% of their winnings to their church. They then collectively started the Smith Family Foundation. This charity is designed to give money to other charities like community programs, leadership workshops, scholarships, and other charitable organizations. They hope that this will help uplift the community in a more lasting way than simply giving money to people. Pearlie Mae and her family are still directly involved with the charity, which is still giving out money to important causes. Now that's a worthy way to spend lottery winnings.
There is a new multi-millionaire in Port Richey, and we now know who he is.
Shane Missler. Shane Missler is proof that your age doesn't matter. Anyone can master the art of the laws of attraction to get a big win. Shane had always visualized what he wanted and worked to get it. He worked loads of different jobs, including a stint at Best Buy, to earn the money he wanted. He started putting money away for his dream Subaru car at a young age, but his visualization skills eventually meant he didn't need to save small amounts of cash to get what he wanted. Eventually, Shane landed a job working for a company that did employee background checks. It wasn't a bad job, but it wasn't exactly exciting either. Shane was still trying his luck with the lottery whenever he could. He just won a little bit of extra cash on a scratch-off ticket and decided that the best way to spend it was to buy 5 more lottery tickets. He went down to 7-Eleven, and this time, he put his money on the Mega Millions. That seems like a pretty good option, since the next draw was the 4th largest jackpot in the lottery's history. You already know what happened next. At the age of only 20, one of Shane's tickets was the only winner of the giant $451 million jackpot. He went for the lump sum, which meant he was now almost $282 million richer. The first people he told were his Facebook followers, but he invited his dad to have a cup of coffee with him the next morning. And that's when he broke the good news. Shane released a statement via his lawyer telling the world how he wanted to spend his money. He said he wanted to help his family and give some to charity. He also wanted to use it to pursue all his passions while having a little fun along the way. But he was determined to spend it wisely, so it would last him a lifetime. We all know that young lottery winners often don't hold on to their cash. They can be pretty reckless. So where's Shane now? Well, his lottery win was only in 2018, so that's pretty recent. Scammers have been using his name in a huge amount of online scams, which you should definitely avoid. But that's about the only bad news in this story. Most lottery winners file for bankruptcy within 5 years, and 2023 will be Shane's 5th year as a millionaire. But he shows no signs of going bankrupt. We don't know exactly how much he's worth, but his social media pages sure look like he's spent his millions wisely.